Good morning and welcome to this instructional handover video for the Burstner travel van T690G. I'm going to walk you around the outside of the vehicle first and then we'll move on to the inside. So we'll go through all the major bits that you'll need to know to use and enjoy the motorhome. So it's based on a Fiat Chausson and it's on a 2.3 130. Has the manually folding in mirrors, which inside will electrically operate both the bottom and the top mirror. The door works off central locking, and the habitation door behind will work off your Burstner key. So you'll see there's an electric step, and I'll show you where to operate that from inside. There's an awning light, and there is also a fuel awning. Now I will send you a separate video of how to use that awning, so that'll be on a separate link to you. We've got the fridge vents, so top and bottom covers just there. And then hiding behind the habitation door, we have got the gas locker. So it locks, and like all Burstners, with one key that is suited. The previous customers left in the refillable gas system. So this is connected to the regulator up there and just allows you to interchange between the two bottles. To fill it up, you have the filler point just on there, which allows you then to just pop it in, slide it out, and then fill it up as and when you need to use the gas. Behind that we've got the locker area, so the garage area. So to open it you want to pull the bottom lever and the top lever, and that will release the catches. There's a window stay or a garage door stay just on there to hold the door in place when that door is open. We've also got fitted into here the toolkit, the awning pole, and you've got an infill rafter. There's a light, so when the mains is on, the 12 volts on, the light will work. We've got storage pockets and a spare wheel. Now the garage area is heated, so you see the vent just down there, and we have some more pocket spaces there. We've also got the original carpets that come with the vehicle. The customers put a separate hanging rail just up on there as well for you. Onto the back panel, it's got the high brake light, it's got a twin reversing camera, so one when you're in motion and one when you go to reverse. It just automatically changes between the two. This particular model was spec'd by the customer from new with a door on this side as well, and we've got some little pockets just in here, and that's where your drain key will store when you are wanting to use it to drain the wastewater. So your carpets are there, and we've got some hanging rails just up here. Like I said, the doors will all lock on the outside with one key. This one we've got a little returner down at the bottom. So behind or in front of that, we've got your toilet cassette. Same idea, one key will lock and open that area. What we want to do here is make sure the blade valve inside, which I'll show you on the internal bits, is closed. Then you will lift up the little yellow handle and slide the cassette out like so. Yeah, you've got the flush button just there, so that lets out in the air when you're emptying it. And we've got the actual cap that you will unscrew and remove as and when you want to empty it. You empty it generally upside down, and on here we will just then, once you finish doing it and you put your chemicals back in, slide it back in nice and neat until it clips in place just like so. Once you've done that, you can close it and then you can go on to use your toilet again. Below that we've got the wastewater, so this is the symbol for your wastewater, and it's just located down below. So the little key, which is in the back, goes onto the metal bar and just turns quarter turn. So it will come out of the left hand side plastic pipe. So quarter turn to open it and quarter turn to close it. Once you've finished doing that, you simply remove that off the little metal pipe there. In front of that further, we've got the Truma vent. So this is the heating vent for the hot water and the heating. It does get warm, so just be careful. And then forward of that again, just secured in this little area here, is the service locker. So you'll see there's a little red band on that. What that means is it is lockable, and once you remove your mains cable you could drive away, but it's not truly locked. For it to be truly locked, you'll need to put the key in, turn it, and then press that in, and you'll see it's gone flush. That means that it is completely locked. Yeah, and you will be able to then go away from the vehicle knowing no one's got access. When you turn the key, you'll see that little red band appears, and it is lockable but open to give you access. So inside here we've got a few items. So we've got the mains point that comes in, sits into the little cutout here, just like so, and then we'll allow you to shut the door. So that's your mains plug-in point. Little symbol to tell you there. Left hand side lower, we've got a hatch to give you access to clean the fresh water tank. We've got the filler point. So undo that, put your hose pipe in, and that will allow you to fill up the fresh water. The fresh water is either 20 litres or 110 litres. And to get it to fill up and drain, you'll use this little tap here. So left hand turn all the way will empty it to 0. Turn it clockwise and you'll hear a first click. The first click takes it up to the 20 litres, and once it reaches 20 litres, it will drain out any excess above that. Keep going until it is finger tight, and that will allow you to fill up to 110 litres to the maximum capacity. You will also see it is transparent. You will see that it is filling up, just like so. So fresh water, filler, point for empty for going in and cleaning it, and your filler and drain point just there. If you forget, it'll drain out underneath the vehicle directly below. To the left hand side, you'll see we've got two little items down here. We've got a yellow toggle valve. So in the vertical position like it is now, it is draining the water from the van. Flick it down like so, and that will allow the water to stay in the vehicle. Flick it back up and it will empty the water out of the vehicle. The blue diamond here is your frost protection valve. Now this will drop if it's below, I think, 4 degrees. To allow it to fill back up, you twist, and then right at the bottom, if I got around here, you'll see there's a little blue button where my thumb is. You would press that in. Now if it stays in like it is now, that will allow the boiler to fill up with water. If it doesn't, you'll need to sit the heating on for 10 minutes, because you'll see there's a heater pipe in here. It will heat up the chamber and allow you to press that button in. What you might find it'll do is it'll do this. So the diamond will go across, but the button is out at the bottom. Yeah, that will still drain it. The button's got to be in, diamond's got to be across. When you're draining it, simply turn it, and you'll see on the top of there's a little black nipple that will come up, and that tells you that you're draining. The simple test for that is to turn your tap on and you pump on inside, and if it's not coming out underneath the vehicle there, you're all ready and working to fill up. So everything on the Burstner pretty much is in that central service locker area, toilet area there. Forward again, we go to the diesel filler cap. So that just uses the normal Fiat key to do that. Into the cab area. Particular model is fitted with the Remis cab blinds. Just magnetise on the side there, and do the side same on the front. So these ones just pinch together. We'll go around the mirror and then magnetise on the end to each other. With any of these blinds, just be gentle, putting them opening and closing. On here, you've got your electric window switch. We've got your engine battery that's located under here. Underneath the seat, if you lift this up, this is where you find your main e-box, so your fuses, your power. That is the brains of the Burstner. So anything that you're unsure about on the electrical side of it, the EBL e-box is located just there. Yeah, we've got glove box, passenger airbag, and another area up there which is cooled through the air conditioning. The bonnet release catch can be found just here, so just pull that down and that will open the bonnet release catch for you. So the bonnet release catch can be found directly above the Burstner badge. In the middle of the vehicle, there's a little yellow lever. Lift that up, you've got your bonnet stay there. In here, you've got a few items. You've got negative point. Your positive point is found underneath that cap, and you just use your key to flick it up should you need to get that. We've got oil and dipstick, and we've got our screen wash to the left hand side. On closing it, just gently allow it to go down and close it just like so. So that's the outside of the vehicle taken care of. Now let's move on inside. So to open the door, just pull the handle. That allows the door to open, and we've got a door stay at the top. On here we have got a fly screen as well, and we've also got a blind on there. To operate the step, there's a switch just at the bottom here. So press it in, up, and it will go in. Press it down and it will go back. Yeah, we've also got a couple of switches that work independent. So we've got the awning light switch, which is the nearest one here. And then we've got this handle switch just there. We've also got a welcome light switch, which works as well. All the other lights will then need to work with the power on. And to get the power on, I'll show you how to do that. So the power on button and the main control panel is found above the door. Press the button to 12 volt and that will allow the rest of the lights, if you've got them turned on, to work, and will also give you 12 volt in the vehicle. To turn it off, press that. When we're hooked up to mains, as we are for this demonstration purpose, it will tell you that you are hooked up to mains, just like so. Yeah. So when we want to check what power we've got in our vehicle battery, we'll press and hold that and the indicator will come up here. When we press and hold that, it will tell us what is in our leisure battery. So leisure and vehicle. When we press the button here, the top one will tell us what's in our freshwater tank, and again the gauge will move up, and the bottom one will move up, tell us what's in our wastewater. To turn the pump on, press it up and you'll hear the pump running. Press it down to turn it off. Now initially what you'll need to do is fill up the boiler, so you'll follow the sequence I've told you. First of all, you'll put fresh water in, and then what you'll want to do is you'll want to come to the tap, turn the tap that way, lift it up, and then put the pump on. Once you've done that, you'll get a splatter and a spurt of water coming out of here. You run that tap until there's a steady stream. And what that's done is pulled all the water away from the, through the boiler and filled up the boiler, which will allow us then to move on further in the video and allow us to do the hot water. So pull it through on the hot, and again, the taps are clearly marked hot and cold. Hot to the left, cold to the right. So pull it through on the hot till the boiler or your steady stream of water is flowing, and that will allow you then to go to your boiler options, which I'll show you later in the vehicle. The sink and the sink plug is just there. We've got a nice little cover that comes with it. Underneath here, we've got a light switch, which lights up. We've also got a extractor fan and another light switch just underneath. Above in the cupboard, we've got some storage spaces. To open them, you just press the little handles. That allows them to open up. And again, you've got storage space there. The blind, simply pull down and pull up, and they're exactly the same. So you can have it set so if you want to see out but not in, then you've got a bit of space. To release the two together, you just press it there. To open the windows, with this particular light, just press it and then gently up and it will hold in place, and then all the way up to pull it back down to lock in place, just like so. Hob wise, we've got a 3-burner hob, 1, 2, 3 as you're looking at 1, 2, 3, and we've got an igniter to light that up. Please heed the little notice sticker that's on there, so let it cool down before you close it. Otherwise this will shatter, so just be careful with that. Cool it down before you do it. In the kitchen area, we've got then storage space just here. Quite a lot of storage on here. And then if I switch around, we've got storage here. You've got your gas isolation valves, so as you see them there, they're all in use and in the right correct position. We've then underneath that, we've got another large storage area, and then again at the bottom, another large storage area. The cupboard next to the habitation door is where you will find the engine battery. There are provisions if you want another one just in there, and there is storage above. You've got a little footstool that slides out here, and in this particular item here, you can either take them out and use it as a large wardrobe area, or you can use it as a shelves if it's sat up here. The table extends, so to extend the table round, you'll pull that little lever down. Once you've pulled it down, it will allow the table then to swing out left and right. You can remove the table completely. You'll just need to lift it up, off there, and then you'll be able to move it and take it into the garage area. The legs do split on here, and if you really wanted to, you could potentially break it down for an easier storage in that rear area. In this area here at the front, the lights above turn on just with that little switch there. And these little lights have a little rocker switch on the end. You can also twist them and move them along to different locations. In the cupboard here is where you'll find all the packs and handbooks that tell you how to use the vehicle, along with what I'm telling you today. And in here, you'll find the plug sockets for the TV, and you've got additional main socket and 12-volt socket just in there as well. The vehicle has 4 seat belts, so you'll see that they're just there. If you don't use them, they just hide behind the headrest just there. We've got another couple of additional sockets that were added by the previous owner just there. And then we'll move on into the bathroom area. We've got a little coat hook above the mirror there. We've got in here the swing room. So the swing room basically operates by just twisting. What you will do then is you will then slide it around, and then that gives you your shower area. Yeah. So you've got hot and cold mixer taps. So again, when you're draining it down for winter, just make sure that they're pressed out to drain it, but then push them back in before you're filling it up. And then we've got your toilet cassette here. So I mentioned to you before about the blade valve. This is the valve inside the toilet. To open and close it, you'll need to move it that way, towards the front of the vehicle to open it, towards the back of the vehicle to close it. So it's got to be in the closed position to be able to pull the toilet cassette out. It is quite crucial that you do that. Yeah, we've got a little toilet roll holder here. We've got the blind that goes across to hold the actual, stop the door from getting wet when you are showering. We've got a cupboard here for your storage space. We've got a light switch just here, turns on your lights on and off. And then we've got your flush, so that's your flush for your toilet. Your pump's got to be on for that to work though. So that comes directly from your fresh water tank. And then we've got a little light to tell us that we are getting full. Taps have a little indicator on the top. So again, when you're pulling it through, turn it to the left where it's hot, pull it through, and then turn it off when you're not using it. A couple of toothbrush holders there. And the important thing to do is just make sure that that is turned and secured just in place there before you are driving off on your onward journeys. So that's the bathroom area. Behind that we have a large storage area. Got some more carpets in here, and this is where your aerial is. This is non-standard, so it's been added by the previous customer, but that's where you will find it there. So 690, quite a rare model, but it does give you that extra little bit of storage area that sometimes you require. To the side of that we've got our fridge. So this is the Dometic fridge. To turn it on, we press and hold that button and it will light up. So we've got 4 options. We've got the leisure battery option, will only work when the engine's running. We've got gas, obviously it will only work when the gas is on. And then we've got mains electric. Your 4th option is auto, and you'll see now when I click auto, it's automatically gone back to the electric option because I'm plugged into electric. Yeah, so it will always search for the best solution. If you unplug electric and start with your engine, it will go to leisure battery. If your engine's not running and you're not hooked up to mains but your gas is on, it will go to gas. Now one thing to remember, if it does go to gas and there isn't any gas, it may lock out, so just give it a chance. Follow the little instructional note here and you'll have to press the reset button to reset the gas. To change the cooling temperature from lowest to coolest, you'll just use that little indicator there. And to get into it, more importantly, just pull the handle towards you. You'll see it's lit up when it's on, and when you turn it off, the light will go out. Top section here, you've got a little ice compartment and a fridge compartment throughout just there. Above it, we've got another storage area, and below it, we've got a little drawer area. Further back from that, we've got the wardrobe space underneath the bed, so you can gain access there from that hatch handle, or you can lift up the bed to give you access there. You have a little handle that's quite nifty, will allow you to put hanging items on there and bring them to you to make it easier and close it down. Again, you've got heater pipes here, and you'll see little things like the perforations in the heater pipe in the bed area. That's to allow the heat to come out a little bit around you and give an even spread of air, hot air or cool air, depending on what you want to do, in that bedroom area. So the beds are 2 singles, just like so. They do have headrests, so you can lift them up. So you'll see they're just on a little ratchet system there. The van's got some additional cushions, which have been ordered from the customer. And again, we've got the same fly screen and blinds on the windows. On the roof light, we've got the heckies, so just pull together in a similar fashion. And then to open them, just press that down and pull that up, and that will open and close the roof like that. So that's the same there as it is in the front of the vehicle, exactly the same there. Step area, we've got a little storage area here again. So again, I keep going on, we've got plenty of storage in here. And then in here, we've got an additional storage area, which again can be accessed by lifting up there, and we've got a light just in here. One thing to note in here, guys, is just at the bottom down here is your main RCD breaker. Yeah, so that's there. Now the little button at the top here is your test button. So just here where my finger is the test button here. Yeah, so if you were to press that and we're plugged into mains like we are, it should flick down like it has on the video. To reset it, just lift it up. That would be your first point of checking if you haven't got mains power in the vehicle. So that's your main RCD box, very much similar to what we have at home, and that can be found underneath that section there. We have got a light which will turn off the back lights, and there are some lights and a plug socket at the back of the vehicle underneath here which will duplicate some of the switches, and again the little headrests, little lamps will switch similar to the ones that they do on the front. To pull that back up, just lift it up to the top, and then it will slide back down just like so, and go flush again for your evening sleeping arrangements. Yeah, so nice big single beds. So heating system, that can be found just here, and what we want to do is press it, which will light it up. We can see we've got a little indicator to the right hand side that tells us that we're plugged into mains. So again, we've got an indicator on the control panel, we've got an indicator just there. So on here, what we want to do first of all is select the motorhome with your temperature. That is what temperature we want it inside the vehicle. So between off and 30 degrees. So turn the wheel. When we've decided what we want it, we'll press the middle button. The next option along then is the fuel source. I always skip one because I don't want it to trip out. So in this case, I'm going to put it on electric so it doesn't trip, and show you what other options are. So if we're clicking it again, we've got EL2, which is 2 kilowatt electric. Turn it to the left is EL1, 1 kilowatt electric. Turn it again, we've got mix. So that's a mix of gas and 2 kilowatt electric. You'll see just at the top here, there's an indicator to tell us what we're changing each time. Gas and 1 kilowatt electric, and then gas only. So like I say, I want to show you how it runs, so I'm going to put it on 1 kilowatt. You'll see there's a 1 lightning strike just above that line. The next option here is your fan for the blown-air heating. So eco is slow, high is high, and if you press that on, let the fan kick in and give it a few moments, it will allow you to then flick it back on it and boost it. What the boost does is gives all the power away from the hot water to get the heat in as quick as possible. Yeah. You would do this if that boiler valve outside isn't clicked in, because that will then heat up that chamber as quick as possible. Yeah. So just to recap, we've got heating, fuel source, and fan speed. So if you were going out on a day and you were worried about the water freezing and you just wanted the heating on, that's the option that you would do. If you then want to put the water on, obviously make sure that you have water in the vehicle, first of all. Turn it so it flashes on that little thermostat with the water, and then either select Eco, which is approximately 40 degrees, or Hot, which is 60 degrees, or in the summer when we don't need the heating, we could flick it to Boost, and that will take all the power away from the heating to get the hot water up to temperature as quick as possible. The Boost will only do one option, either the water or the heating. It will not do both. If you want them both to work at the same time, you'll need to put it on hot and high for that to do it. Now, on this system, there's more functions that are available. So there is timer functions, clock sequence. So every time you turn this unit off, you'll have to set the clock, and setting frequencies. One word of advice is before you are leaving site and unplugging your electric or turning off your gas, turn this unit off. You do that by pressing and holding the circle button. And before you turn it on, make sure you're plugged into mains electric or your gas is turned on. and you go to the actual option on the trimmer screen as quick as possible. Just if you get into the fault codes, it is in your manual about the fault codes. It's just a bit of a pain, guys. The seats themselves at the front have height adjustables on the inside when they're rear facing. They've got armrests, and the bar to turn the seat and pivot around is just here. You have a bar that moves it forward and backwards just underneath the front section, just there. This particular model has got a leather steering wheel, leather gear knob, cruise control and speed limiter, indicators, lights. On this side we've got the trip counter and the windscreen wipers, the mirror switch I mentioned at the beginning of the video, your electric window switches, and your monitor for the reversing camera. In the middle we've got a radio, we've got air conditioning, we've got traction plus, hill descent, hazard lights, lock button, and the rear heated mirror is obviously no option. We've got a couple of USB charging points and a coin holder just there. Drinks holders lower down, and then we've got the phone or tablet holder or nav holder just at the top. So pull the lever down, we'll open up the little holding points, and then fold it back up, press it back in, and that will lock in place. One other thing to note on here is there is an AS air suspension system just on here, so you can set how high you want the pressures depending on the load that's in there. All you do with this is simply press the compressor on, and that will compress it up. To release the power, you just release it just like so. So it really depends on how hard or soft a ride you want as to what you run these pressures. Again, this is not a standard normal fit, it's an optional extra fitted by the previous owner. So on leaving the vehicle, you'll make sure that all your gas is turned off, your electric's unplugged. To turn off the main power in the vehicle, you press the little circle button, and then turn off the remaining lights that are on just in here at the bottom, and then you're able to go on your onward journey and enjoy your holidays. Thanks for watching the video. We'll look forward to your feedbacks and comments. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Most importantly, we hope you enjoy your new motorhome. Thank you.